So my little town throws a street fair every year where all the locals can sell their arts and crafts and their food and whatnot. And my plant friend asked if I wanted to join him in selling some plants. And it was just like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm Gardener Koo, and let me show you which plants you can propagate. And I also have a video on that you should look. This is Nacho. So we're starting with Triscantia pallida purpurea. This purple beauty is great in the garden. It has bright purple color and it can take full sun to part shade. And I grow it in both my tropical wet garden and my dry deserty garden. Next to it, I have this beautiful coleus. This is I don't know the name, honestly, but it looks so great for fall. And this fair is happening at the end of September. So you could use this in table arrangements, and they also make really good houseplants. I recommend part sun to part shade and regular water. Behind them, Behind them, I have these monkey flowers. So these aren't blooming yet, so I don't know if they'll be ready to sell. But they have these great white flowers with bright red polka dots on them. And they like part shade and lots of water, and they can take clay, which is pretty rare in the garden. And then let's switch over down to here, and I'll show you which one of those I'm growing. So down here, I have Echeveria elegans, or Mexican snowball. This white succulent just looks so good in the garden, and you can grow it in full sun to part shade. Now, I know some of you may be asking what that fluorescent thing is on the ground. I'm experimenting with stencils for a cool Halloween. I'll do a video about it later. Next to it, I have this Kalanchoe. This is from Madagascar. I know it looks kind of boring right here, but it has the most vivid neon orange flowers. And they bloom 2 or 3 times a year. They're a great plant to have. It likes regular water and full to part shade. And then next to it here, I have thyme. So I have a lot of thyme, as you might be able to see here and here. And I also had it growing here, but I was like, I need some tarragon. So I pulled the thyme out and stuffed it in some pots. And that's one way you can recycle plants, because a lot of us buy plants, too many plants, and then you change your mind. Well, you don't always have to hold on to it. Next to it, I have this, what's called Cuban oregano. This stuff is great to plant next to a path. It's a succulent, so it likes it dry, but it has the most fragrant leaves, and you can also use it in braises and in stews. All right, over here I have a lot more succulents. So we'll start off with Louisia. This is a California native that gets these like intensely pink purple flowers. They bloom all summer long and they're just lovely. I recommend giving them good drainage and full sun. And if you deadhead them, they'll rebloom for you. Next to them, I have Sedum, insert name here. I can't say the species of this one. It's too hard to pronounce. This is a great orange one in the garden, and orange is really hard to find in garden plants, so I'd pick it up if you see it. You just have to be very careful when you handle it. The little leaves will just pop right off. It likes full sun to part sun and good drainage, of course. And then to my first love in succulents, this is Echeveria Afterglow. I adore her. She gets these big rosettes, like 10 inches across, and it's just so beautiful and so glowing in the garden. Give it really good drainage and full sun for the best color. Now, next to them is a fun one. It's called the propeller plant, or Crassula falcata. So it's called the propeller for pretty obvious reasons. These leaves look just like a propeller. But in the fall, it gets these red flowers. Like, this isn't blooming yet, but they are so vividly red. You can see them from like a block away. I highly recommend this because it's hard to find good fall color. And next, over here, I have strawberries. This is Seascape strawberry. This is an ever-fruiting strawberry, so you'll get fruits from late spring into early fall. And these are so sweet, and they have such a great balance of flavor. And I've found they are just one of the best strawberries you can grow. These dead twigs next to it are figs. I'm not sure it's working. Figs are usually really easy to propagate, but since I did it in the middle of the summer, it's not the best time. They might think it's fall already because we've had such an unreasonably cold summer, so I don't know. We'll see if the figs work or not. This is a small dwarf variety that I don't remember the name of, but I will have written on the screen. So over here we have Thai basil. I accidentally germinated a ton of it, so I thought, why not sell it? Because I don't need this much basil. Thai basil is one of the basils that does better in a coastal climate rather than a Genovese type. And this one's a new hybrid called cinnamon, so it has a really interesting spicy little flavor to it. I highly recommend it. You can get the seeds at Johnny's. And next to that, I have finally my black mondo grass, or Ophiopogon nigricans. Now, this stuff is amazing. It's pure black, which is really rare in a leaf color, and you can plant it in full sun to full shade. You just have to adjust how much water you give it depending on which spot you put it. I do warn you, it grows so slow, like so incredibly slow. But it is a great plant to have, and it is at black, which is going to be great for my Halloween-themed fair. So here for my shade plants, I'm selling true wasabi, which I bet you've never had before. If you're thinking of that green stuff, that's not real wasabi. True wasabi is actually a ground up white root. Now I know they look terrible. I just transplanted them today and I took off the leaves so they would have enough time for the roots to spread out and get water. But I'm going to go into everything wasabi in a later video, so please hit like and subscribe. Next to it, I have this amazing Impatient Neonia miensis. These are from Uganda and they have the most incredible flowers. They are just wild red and yellow. Grow this in full shade and you want to give it, moderate water. I highly recommend this one because you can put these on salads or as an amazing cocktail garnish. Another plant I'm going to be selling that I have an overpopulation of is this air plant, Tillandsia fasciata. I have so many of these. Because I live in the fog, I don't even ever have to water them. The fog gets water on them and they just keep populating and populating and populating. I have so many of these now. They have this amazing flower in the spring and summer that is hot pink and bright purple. You want to give them part shade to full sun and water them weekly if you don't live in a humid climate like I do. A fun one that I'm going to be selling by the stem is Senecio madrileaceae, this blue beauty over here. This likes full sun and good drainage, but it's really easy after that. I haven't watered mine in years and they are still thriving and doing great. When you're preparing a succulent, though, to be transplanted, you want to just cut it and then you want to let it wait. You want to wait for 3 to 5 days. You want to let that end kind of cauterize over. You could also speed this process up with a lighter and just take a flame to it for a few seconds. These are also a favorite of bees. They bloom in the fall and the bees just go crazy for them. All right, we're on our 9th take of this tomato one because the dogs are being belligerent, but let's see if we can get through it. So my next plant is tomato tiny tome. This is a windowsill tomato. It gets to about a foot tall, and there's the belligerence. And you can just grow it. You want to give it as much sun as possible. We'll let the drinking sound just help us with this take. You can pollinate, you have to pollinate the flowers, so I'd recommend an electric toothbrush and use an old head and then you just go around and buzz the flowers. Tomatoes just need vibration to be pollinated. Be sure to give it as much sun as you can and to not get water on the leaves. So for this annual that I'm not sure is going to be ready in time, I'm doing this black petunia. Look at these inky black flowers. They are just so velvety and luscious. I love them. Petunias like full sun, regular water, and good soil. Honestly, the better you treat a petunia, the more flowers you're going to get. And also be sure to deadhead them.